Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and the sincere Shalom to the brothers out there pushing this truth and society and sincerity. And I pretty much want to get into the topic about how the truth is, even reading the Bible, is not simple, but it's not hard either. Or you can say it is simple and not hard, but for some of us, you got a lot of guys that come into this truth, and they'll hear these things, but then they'll turn around and make the thing complicated. And henceforth, that's when you get a lot of guys that just comes out thinking all sorts of crazy shit. That you had to break down the scriptures this way and that way, when we already laid out the foundation. We give you the information. We tell you where to look it up at. We got guys that will refute what we tell them, or even let's say we're not even going based off of us, but based off how things are broken down, they'll refute that, and they just turn into something that just makes it sound completely idiotic or stupid or complicated, when the truth is not complicated. Or it is complicated, but it's not entirely completely complicated. And that's why I say the truth is not easy to grasp, but it's not very hard to grasp. And that's where you get Isaiah 28:10, where it talks about the precept is upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Everything's going to be broken down differently, but it's always something there that can catch your attention, and it rolls with you, especially if it's broken down to you correctly. And that's why I be having a problem with guys, because they'll come in and say, oh yeah, this is right, and then later down the line, 3 months, 2 years, 4 years later, oh, this is wrong. I was completely taught a lie. Okay, how can you know that's if that's a lie? Because in order to make the truth, it has to make sense. But you got these guys that come up with things, and it doesn't make sense. And you could go, and sometimes, or even really a lot of times, or even all the time, you have to go based off the scripture to really get the point out or prove it. But sometimes you can just go by common sense, and you could just catch it right then and there. And that's where you guys get tripped up get tripped up at when they get asked these questions, because then they know that some of it sounds fucking stupid, but they'll stick with it and run with it anyways. And that's when you get these guys that come up with all sorts of crazy things. But with us in Great Millstone, for the ones that's truly seeking the truth, which we believe we found it, that we trust in Yahushua to guide us through it, to give us the acknowledgement. Because yeah, you can say you believe in it. Anybody can come in and say they believe, and then they end up turning around and saying this is wrong. But we trust in the Lord to guide us through that way. That's where you get St. John 16:13. Yahweh shall guide us through all things, and that's even in the truth. So those are if you set your mind to that, the Lord's going to show you whether this is correct or not. If it's not correct, it's not for you. If it is, then you'll resonate and stick with it. You got guys that just want to go based off what they feel is right, or not even going based off what they feel right, but based off how everything looks. And they're not even getting the clear understanding. They're just jumping into a pit of fire without understanding how hot the fire is. That's what's wrong with these guys. Because when they find out it's not this is not what they thought it was, they're gonna get mad and leave, do their own thing, and talk a whole bunch of shit like they always do. But they would never. But when we try to correct them on things that's actually of actual value, they rather dodge the bullet and try to just call us niggas. They won't sit there and debate us. You got guys that's out there saying we have the wrong doctrine, but they would not debate us. You rather talk a whole bunch of useless shit that we can evade, that we don't even need to talk about, rather than what the truth is. They quick to call you names, but they ain't quick to debate you. That means they know they're not fully persuaded in what they believe, or what they even taught, or what they believe is what was correct. Anytime they don't debate you in what they think is correct, then that is a problem. That means you're not fully persuaded in what you believe. And that's what these guys are. They're not persuaded. They just want to find a way to talk shit because they mad about something that that was in Great Millstone, or it was something that happened in the camps, and then they just decide to bitch up about it. And that's why we as a Hopeful Elect, we still got to conduct ourselves in an orderly manner. We see First Chronicles 11 and 16 says, "Seek the Lord in His strength continually." How we do that? By following what the Lord does in characteristics, how He behaves, what He's done. We gotta follow those things. We can't stoop ourselves on the level because we know that we're just wasting our time on them, and that's all it is. We're just wasting time on a bunch of guys that's just immature, not even just immature, but are acting like women that are just effeminate.